Welcome to another Specialty Hybrids update. I'm agronomist Ryan Becker. So, as everyone knows, the frost states that we talked about in our previous video have came and went, and now we are rebounding into some normal spring-like conditions, but we have to assess the damage that those killing frosts left behind. So if you remember from the previous video, I highlighted how I didn't think corn would have much of an issue, and that pretty much has held true. Again, there was very little corn that was up, and what was up did have some spikes that got touched a little bit by the frost, may burn back a little bit, but again, regrowth will occur as we're sitting here with this nice 70 to 80 degree weather forecasted over the next week or so. So corn, as predicted, not much of an issue. However, the beans that we discussed being the more than likely largest victim of the frost definitely held true. And as you can see on the pictures, there were a lot of beans that were up planted that week of April 20th time frame, that they were poking through, starting to unfurl their cotyledons, and as you can see, there are definitely places out there in the field that we've killed the growing point of those soybeans. So as I show these pictures, I got a range of different specimens throughout the field, and you can see, hey, on all of these, you see the new growth, the meristem, that being that grayed out, washed out, tannish look. That's definitely dead material, as well as the cotyledons. You can see they were touched as well, and they're dying. So you see these first three pictures, or these first three examples on the picture, these are all definitely dead. Now, where we start to see some ones that will survive, start with the fourth one. So yes, our main growing point did get killed by the frost, but as you can see in this close-up photo, those buds right there at the base of the cotyledons is still green, and so this plant is going to survive. It is going to start to regrow. And then finally I have the one that was probably still had the cotyledons were still completely just pulling through the soil, or were down in the soil, or had just pulled through, and thus they are perfectly fine and going to survive. So I still will say, obviously we just got this line of storms come through in a lot of the territories, so it's not like we'll be doing any replant today. But again, we probably need to wait, another 4 or 5 days for it to dry out for starters. But B, so we know exactly, hey, which plants are dead and which ones aren't, so we know exactly where we're going to be dropping in and spotting in to replant. Because that's what I've seen thus far, is that it's scattered throughout the entire field, where you've got patches that 60% of the beans had been more than likely killed by the frost, but then in other areas of the fields it's maybe only about 20-25%. So letting it get a little bit bigger and being able to row it consistently, we'll definitely be able to tell a little bit easier here in the coming days of what exactly survived and what didn't. But like I said, the frost, it looks like, did have the biggest issue on the emerged soybeans as predicted, and thus we'll probably have some replant in soybeans. Thanks.